uh, in entrepreneurship, when there is a crisis, that's an opportunity. So every crisis presents new opportunities because when after a explosion of a volcano, all the soil turns over. So we see it the same way. And I think many smart entrepreneurs are looking at this and saying, what could we do differently? And so that's the first thing. Personally, I'm running a company, Telesense, in agriculture technology space, AgTech, and with artificial intelligence and wireless sensors. And we decided that we need to go raise some money now so we can buckle down for 2 years. And that's what we have done. So we have convinced an investor to give us a term sheet so we can close the round. And, so you just have to take evasive action and come up with a plan A, B, C, and D that depending on how much money you get, how much you're willing to cut down to survive. Remember that movie, 127 hours?
Mm-hmm.
But you should be prepared to do that just in case. And that's what I have. That's what I'm doing, and that's what all good entrepreneurs do. Because when I was growing up, entrepreneurship was not a word I know how to spell. So it's not that you want to do something in entrepreneurship. What happens is, I was an electrical engineer, so I worked as an engineer. At some point, you realize you are a misfit of society. The normal people annoy you, and they make you do things which you think I can do a better job than that. That defines an entrepreneur. If you're a normal person, you can have a good life, balanced life, make decent money, but the misfits of society, they just, look at Elon Musk. Is he a normal person? Was Steve Jobs a normal person? No. Are they good people? No, they're difficult people. But that's the kind of person and mindset you need to start companies, put up with all the hassle and get somewhere. So all of you, all of the people listening to this have to ask that question. When is the time when I don't fit in anymore? When is the time when I really almost can't go to sleep because I know I can do this a better way? But the key point is you want to make sure you have enough armor on your body and you don't enter the battlefield naked, because then you'll be slashed down in the first contact and then you'll be dead. Prepare with enough body armor. By body armor, I mean skills.
Skills.
So what are those skills which you need to be body armor? Well, it's the ability to convince people to do things for them even if you cannot pay them. What's your currency? Your vision. People want to work with people who have strong vision and ability to execute. You need to have ability to do public speaking, able to sell, able to negotiate. So all those skills, when you acquire those skills, now you're ready to enter the battlefield. Don't know. I don't have any diversity. When there's some people by nature, they see glass half full. When others see problem, I see an opportunity. So I don't know what that feeling is. When I'm down, I go to sleep. When I wake up, I'm fixed. It's not complicated. Yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that you'll find a way, and you have proven to yourself that you could find some way. It's not the great way all the time, but some way. Then they can't kill you.
Yeah.
I even have thought about, if you throw me in a desert in middle of Gobi Desert, I'll find a way, something to sell to the locals within 3 months. I have no idea what it is, but I'm pretty sure I'll find it. Two components to this question. One is, how do you find new ideas? And the second part is, how do you create a culture when people are not afraid to experiment and ask questions and try innovation? So two different answers. So first one, how do you come up with new ideas? So there are two main components to it. One is you have to read and listen and observe so you have enough dots so you can connect the dots. Because everybody around you is also looking at the same data, but the entrepreneurs are connecting the dots. Aha, so if this is the case and that's not there, then maybe this could happen. But if you don't connect the dots, then you're just standing there static. And other way, which is essential part of that thing, is you need to be curious and ask questions. You're not going to learn if you never open your mouth. So the thing is, most people, especially in your age, are not comfortable having a conversation. You rather text somebody than pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah.
And that means you're not going to learn. If you put me in an airplane seat next to somebody, by the time we land, I'll be a semi-expert in their field. I've done that many times, if they're willing to talk. So question is, are you curious? Do you ask enough questions? Are you learning? Are you connecting the dots? Are you reading? So that's how the ideas come to you. The second part of your question is, how do you create a place of innovation? And the answer to that question is different. You have to make it okay to fail. If you chastise people for coming up with or trying something which didn't work, then they'll stop coming up with those things to mention.
Yeah.
So think of that as a toddler, a 1-year-old trying to walk. Every time she falls down, what do you say? Ah, hopeless. Why don't you just give up now? There's no way she's walking.
Yeah.
You don't do that. But you do that to people with ideas all the time. So think about that. Why do we do that to people with new ideas? Some of them are stupid. But think, what else could they do? Could we shape it into something which could be relevant? So that's the culture you have to create as the leader, as a CEO, as a founder. Leader, so short answer is I use a 4-prong method. So 4-prong method is, one is, there is theory to be taught. How do you lead a team? So we have lectures on that. Second thing is by bringing other leaders to speak to the students and listening to the story, and you begin to realize, this goofball could be leader. Why can't I be a leader? There's nothing that special about this person except, they thought about it this way. Number 3, you have case discussions. We study in our class several cases to discuss a scenario and analyze what they could have done, how should they have reacted. And the 4th thing is experiential learning. When you give a project, when you have to figure out a problem, solve a solution, and then present to an audience working in a team of 3 or 4 people. And this is when people really struggle and realize, and almost every time come out as a polished leader. Because when all these highly educated, motivated students are in a room, it's very difficult to control them, but their grade depends on the final presentation. So I set the parameters and they have to deliver. So those 4 things combined instill those qualities and experiential learning in the audience. Point is, I never know anybody I call out loud that you are my mentor or I want you to be my mentor. I never said that because there was a personal connection or they saw something in me. So point is, there are a hell of a lot of people who are good people. And these good people are willing to give you guidance, advice, or whatever it takes if you allow them. But if you don't seek out to them, then you're not going to get it. So people who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s have what? Experience. They have knowledge. They have experience. They understand the politics. They are happy to share, but nobody asks. So when you go to some older person and say, I'm willing to get your advice on some topic, and you're respectful, and you're listening, not checking your phone while he's talking, you'll be surprised how many more people would be willing to share their thought. But you have to ask questions. People have knowledge. They don't know how to express it unless you ask intelligent questions and really sort of navigate and learn to it. I've never found anybody who was not willing to share if we were not curious and respectful. So seek mentors. You don't have to follow everything they say, but each person, what they say allows you to have a different point of view. Your job as an adult, young adult, is to integrate, say which one of these advice makes sense to you. I don't take every advice from every mentor, but having that point of view is invaluable.